Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living North Metro. I'm Reverend Michael Torphy.
I'm Reverend Valerie Torphy.
And up in the, well, it's our left-hand corner. I don't know about yours, but we have Greg and Sheila Fawson. They're our producers.
Hi, everybody.
And run this whole show. And we have Stephan Anthony. He's our king of affirmations, and he'll be doing a reading. And we have this glorious human being, spiritual being known as Mindy, and she's going to be doing our music for us today. So thank you all for being here. Let's get started with the evocation. So close your eyes and join me as we move into that centered place of our life where we recognize and acknowledge that there's only one life, one spirit, one God. And that God is within me and within each person that is here joining in on this sacred service. I know that this service unfolds with glorified possibilities, and then each one of us are guided and directed to get exactly what we came here to get. I know this day is a blessing to each one of us, and each one of us is a blessing to each other. I hold this truth to be perfect, whole, and complete in my consciousness as I now release, let go, and allow it to be by saying, and so it is.
So it is.
So it is.
So let's get started with that wonderful musician. Mindy, you're on.
All right. So it's been a wild year. It's been a wild season. And I know we find ourselves in all kinds of moods. The one thing that I've learned from the power of thought and divinity is that at any moment I can change my mind. So I've taken a little leeway with the song that you guys know well. Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Start your day all over again. You can do it just once or do it just twice if you happen to feel a little more naughty than nice. Start your day all over again. It works in just an instant. All you have to do is believe. You're gonna choose between feeling bad or good. Well, for goodness sake. You better not walk, you better not cry, you better not pout. I'm telling you why. You can start your day all over again. You don't have to be so crabby. You don't have to be uptight. You've got the power there within you to give it up and choose the light. You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Start your day all over again. Roll out in the clover. Invite the neighbors over. Start your day all over again. Try it, you'll like it.
That was awesome.
Thank you, Mindy.
Very clever. Thank you. That's a good way to start this day.
It is.
We'll be getting back to you in a few minutes. We got some announcements to make, and we'll see you again.
Yeah. Me too. Okay. Like us and check in on Facebook at CSL North Metro, and check out our website at cslnorthmetro.org. You have all of the things that we're doing and all of the links and to get on the Zoom and all of the things that we're doing. Go to contact us and add yourself to the email list, and then we'll send you emails that have all the links in them too. And you can go to the prayer requests and affirmations. You can request prayer. You can see all of the affirmations that Stephan writes. And also he writes prayers every week too. So there's affirmative prayers out there for your use too. And there's lots of other information out there too. Reverend Michael writes a blog at least once every month. And so if you haven't seen that yet, check it out. Today's title is Something Within You is Always Awake. Our guest artist, you've already heard from, Mindy Sterling, and she is just really beloved. Our reading today is from the third appearance A Crisis of Perception by Walter Starkey. Now we're ready for affirmations. It's Stephan Anthony. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Such a joy to be here again. And the affirmations for this week. Today and always, I express the perfection within me. My awareness of life's perfection grows with each new day. Divine right action is revealed as every aspect of my being. My life is guided by Spirit's vision and my complete trust in it. In each moment, I express to the world the bright light that I am. I live in a constant state of gratification for God's presence as my life. And so it is.
And so it is. Yay, thank you.
Thank you. And then the reading, as Reverend Valerie showed us, is from the third appearance, A Crisis of Perception by Walter Starkey. It is necessary for you to realize that every stage you go through represents a step forward in the evolution of your consciousness. When you are fully conscious, you will perceive yourself as one with and as the presence of God. That is the purpose of your being here. What does it mean to be fully conscious? It means for you to attain what Paul called having that mind that was in Christ Jesus. I believe that Jesus in the West and Buddha in the East represented that moment in the advancement of human evolution when the first fully conscious humans began to evolve. They were fully conscious of the spiritual nature of all life, conscious of the unity of all that exists, and conscious of the all-inclusive nature of omnipresence that dispelled the illusion of duality. Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, a trailblazing paleontologist priest, wrote, "All action is complemented by thought, purpose, and desire. It is up to us to be aware of that energy, know how to release it through our faith in its divine purpose, and understand that through our consciousness, we are co-creators with that energy. The divine purpose for all human existence is for us individually and collectively to mature to the place where we are not only conscious, but where we realize we are consciousness itself. Then we can evaluate every experience in this context and see how it fits into the divine plan. Every experience, good or bad, is present in our lives for one purpose, to make us conscious beings. We can waste the lessons that accompany our experiences and have to go through them over and over again, or we can listen to what they are telling us and become conscious beings. Once we reach the spiritual condensate level of consciousness, we will fulfill our purpose for being born. We will realize that we are consciousness itself."
Well, thank you, Stephan.
So much.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Great rendition.
Thank you.
All right. Oh, we have Mindy now.
Yeah, more
We get to
music
hear another
for
song.
Mindy. Yes.
Mindy, come forth.
Mindy's feet. Oh, she's coming right back.
There she is.
Okay.
Am I there?
You're there.
Mindy.
Yes.
Okay, take it away, Mindy.
Take it away,
You know-
Mindy.
Yes?
Yes.
Good. Everyone out there, you can use your energy, your good prayers to keep this internet connected. Keep us all connected. In a time that's confusing sometimes, Christmas especially, this one, about what love is. And love is not presence, as in Presents. It's more about how we feel about each other. And this is a song that was written about that. Some say love, it is a river that drowns the tender reed. Some say love, it is a razor that leaves your soul to bleed. Some say love, it is a hunger, an endless aching need. I say love, it is a flower, and you, it's only seed. It's the heart afraid of breaking, that never learns to dance. It's the dream, afraid of waking, that never takes the chance. It's the one who won't be taken, who cannot seem to give. And the soul afraid of dying, that never learns to live. When the night has been too lonely and the road has been too long, and you think that love is only for the lucky and the strong, just remember that in the winter, far beneath the bitter snow, lies the sea, there where the sun's love in the spring becomes the road.
That was so beautiful. Thank you so much, Mindy.
Yeah, your love.
Yes,
We love you.
we do so much.
Okay, we're gonna do our thing now, and we'll have some more music a little later on.
Yes.
Blessings. We got through it.
We did.
We had a lot of fun this morning with technical stuff, but here we are, all together once again, and here to celebrate life's pleasures and life's divine majesty. There's one thing that I say over and over again, and I don't think I'll ever stop saying it, and that is, everything we experience in our life is like a spiritual lesson.
Yes.
Because we're spiritual beings, so everything is spiritual. And experiences that we have, not all of them will be standout experiences, but some of them will come to you. You'll have this experience, and it'll become like a story, and it has a beginning and an end, and it's your experience, and it's kind of like your own Bible. You have this experience, and it becomes a story. And as a minister, I'm so happy that I get to share my stories, because sharing stories in the spiritual effect of the story, or the experience being spiritual and what it means to you spiritually, empowers that lesson that you've learned. So in other words, you have an experience and you interpret it spiritually, and that story becomes a powerful lesson for you to always go back to it and remember what it had to teach you, because the Bible is written that way. Most of it, some of it is actually happened, but most of it is the people who wrote it, their vision, that they had this vision of what took place, and they shared it with the stories in the Bible. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. And so I'm going to share a couple of stories as examples that came to me. Now, in our own personal lives, a story can come from within us and our experience, or we can get a story from somebody else that has some significance to us and has a meaning to us, and it lingers through time and space. That it's always with us. It's our story of our Bible. And the first one I want to share is this happened in Fresno, and I don't know if you remember this, but I woke up one morning because I thought I heard a doorbell, and it woke me up, and I'm thinking, as I'm laying there and bringing my senses to the present moment, it was like, was that really a doorbell, or was it in my sleep? I couldn't tell. And I thought, well, we're supposed to be getting packages from mailed to us or sent to our address, so maybe I should go check. And it's about, I don't know, it's about 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. I go down there and there's no package, so I deduce that it was in my sleep. Well, a few days go by and I have the same exact dream, only this time I'm not going downstairs. I know it was a dream and it had some significance to me. So I try to go back to sleep, and that is difficult sometimes when you're awoken that way. And all of a sudden I hear this voice say inside me. I hear this voice say, Sheriff Mims. Now, Sheriff Margaret Mims was the first female elected sheriff in Fresno, California, and we had made an appointment with her about a month earlier to go out to lunch with her and to get a tour of the county jail. And it was about 4 days before we had that appointment, or the day we were going to go on and have lunch with her, that her assistant called and said, I'm just reminding you that you have this appointment. And I said, well, tell you the truth, I got an appointment from the Cosmos because the doorbell rang and nobody was there, and now I hear a voice saying Sheriff Mims, and it was, I mixed it up. Let me go back. The second doorbell was the day of we were supposed to go to meet with her for lunch, and I look at the clock and it's 9 o'clock and we're supposed to meet her at 10, and I'm like, Valerie, wake up, we got to go meet. And there was something profound about that experience, so I shared it with the congregation. But there was more to that experience than just that's something within me that is always awake, and it literally woke me up, in both conscious and unconsciously. So the day that we go out and have lunch with her, it was a lovely lunch. She was a really neat person, and she told us a little about her life, and we told her a little about our life. And then we went to the county jail, and she was telling us all about it. We got to this one floor where there was this big opening where the men could congregate and hang out and just talk or do whatever. Some guys were lifting weights, and when we walked in, a lot of them came up to the edge of the bars and was just looking at us. And it felt awkward for a moment, but then I thought, something instinctive in them is pulling them to us, because we weren't in judgment. We just looked at them lovingly. And there was something about them that seemed like they were doing it automatic, like it was something that just instinctively drew them to us. And that part of them awoke them, because they live in this state of being jailed and not being around their loved ones, and just spending each day locked up in a cell and having this time together where they get to share. But there was something sad and unconscious. So the very next day, we also had an invite to go to this new junior high. It's not called junior high.
Middle school?
Go to this middle school. And it was brand new. It had only been open for like 6-8 months. And they were going to take us on the tour, show us what the school was like. And so we went, and it was a beautiful building, and it was built in a circle. And the reason it was built in a circle is because when kids were going from class to class, they'd have to cross each other and communicate and touch base with each other, as opposed to walking down the hallway and like sheep to the next classroom. And we met some of the kids, and they were very conscious and very happy and very alive. They would answer our questions, and everything was built for them to not just memorize and regurgitate, but to think and to create and to be all they can be. So I contrasted the two and thought, wow, if we all had that chance to be our total self and be awake and enjoy life and enjoy what it is we're here to do, then what a blessing that would be. What a shame it is that some of our society is locked up and some of us are free to enjoy life's gifts. And the second story I want to tell you about is interesting. It was from 2012. I read this article about this young girl, 13-year-old girl, who broke a record. Do you remember what record she broke? She broke 28 records, and 8 of them were world records. And she's only 13. So out there, just guess what you think it is. You got a guess? No guess? She broke the record for weightlifting, and she's 13 years old. She lifted weights that were equivalent to twice her body weight. For me, that'd be like 320 pounds, which would never happen. But here's this young lady breaking all these records. And they asked the coach, let me see. Where is it? Oh, they asked the coach how he thought she was able to lift these weights without being all bulked up and muscle bound and everything. And he said she was never taught limitation, never told she couldn't do anything.
Wow.
Can you think she's just a skinny little 13-year-old with lifting weights that are twice her body weight, and she never thought that she couldn't do it. So that part of us, when we come into this life, we're all awake. Do you ever see? I'm sure a lot of you have seen how a child grows and keeps learning and keeps unfolding and keeps awakening more to who and what they are. Where did we stop that? How was it stopped? Were you told that you couldn't do something? Were you told that you weren't enough? Were you told that it's impossible, whatever it is you want to do? Well, that's just rubbish. And at any point of our life, we can change that. We can decide that there's nothing that we can't do. And all it takes is for us to awaken that inner self that is always there, always positive, always knowing that we can, yes, we can, always perfect, whole, and complete. Where do you want to awake in yourself? What is it that you want to awaken? What is sleeping in you? These are questions that are good, but more importantly, share your stories, your lessons. If you're lucky like we are and belong to a spiritual community, then there's others you can share your story. If you have an experience that happens to you and you see it in a spiritual way, share it, because that strengthens it, that keeps it alive within you, that creates the Bible of your life. And that life is perfect, that life is whole, that life is complete. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You done hugging?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
I might have one or two things for you.
All right. So I started with the principles of religious science by Ernest Holmes. And he says, we believe in the unity of all life, and that the highest God and the innermost God is one God.
Mm-hmm.
We believe the universal spirit, which is God, operates through a universal mind, which is the law of God, and that we are surrounded by this creative mind, which receives the direct impress of our thought and acts upon it. So Ernest Holmes also said, that's it. That's what religious science is. That's all of it right there. And so then we all have our own interpretations and our own ways and our own ways of being. But the really important part is, whether we recognize it or not, no matter what spiritual life we have, or what religion we practice, or how we are, we're all always all connected. We're connected to that divine spirit. We're connected to each other. We're connected to all that is. And so all of our thoughts matter. Every one of them, whether we think we can do it or whether we think we can't do it, or whether we think we're going to have a good day or whether we think we're going to have a bad day, or every single thought we have has an impression because we're thinking it into the mind of God, and as we think it, so it is. And so as things are turning out in good ways, we can keep thinking more of that. But if there are some things going on in your life, and I don't mean the things outside of us, like the pandemic, that we can't change, but we can change how we feel about it, what we do about it, how we approach the world, how we take the opportunity to get outside or to do the things that are important to us, and maybe start a new hobby or something like that. We can change what goes on internally, because we're always connected right there to that mind of God. Mm-hmm. And we're always creating, and we're always creating from our thoughts. So also in the experiences that you talked about that we have, those experiences are part of our journey of awakening to who we are and what we are. And so nothing is really ever good or bad. It's just our thoughts that make it so. So if a thing happens and we say, oh, that's a really terrible thing, and I just don't think I can get over this, well, then that's the truth. If we say, wow, I wonder what it is in my thinking that I'm going through right now, that this is a lesson that I need to learn. And so we can take that lesson and we can expand upon it, and we can further our growth and maybe move on a little bit. And so we can let go of the striving, and we can just be. So if we condemn it and don't recognize it and don't take the lesson from the thing that we're given, we'll probably live it over and over again until we get to the place where it's like, oh, I got that one. I don't have to do that one anymore. That doesn't mean other things won't happen. That doesn't mean we will always have wonderful experiences, because I think that we have a tendency to think if our thoughts are in the right place, that everything will be rosy all of the time. But truly, we're here to grow, and we're here to evolve, and we're here to become more than we were when we came. And so, and we're not the only ones creating. Mm-mm. So, it's like I can live in my little box and have my little perfect world, and everyone around me still also is thinking and creating, and so stuff's still going to happen. So it's up to us to think about, how do I want to react to this? What is my lesson here? How can I make this a positive thing in terms of, yes, I don't have to do this one anymore because I got it, and I don't have to. We all know people who've had something really bad happen and who just can't let go of it. And so maybe 10 years down the road or 20 years down the road, they're still telling that story of that thing that happened that really changed their lives forever.
Keeping it alive.
Right. So we have the opportunity to say, wow, look at that. What is mine to learn from this? What can I do differently? How can I go about it? And I can think of hurts that maybe I feel like I need to hang on to for a while, because that particular person might have a tendency to hurt me every time. But I can think of one particular experience where that person was really hurt and really damaged. And I was very young. Well, not like so young, like 20s. And I thought, why does this person do these things to me? And I was able, this is way before I got into religious science, I was able to realize, wow, that person is really hurting. And he is lashing out because of that hurt, but it's not about me. It has absolutely nothing to do with me. I'm standing here right now, so I'm the receiver of this thing, but I don't have to take it in. I don't have to accept it. I don't have to be it. And I don't have to shove that thing back either. I can still be kind and still be present and still be who I came here to be without. So it was interesting as this unfolded, because years went by and we're visiting them, and he's saying whatever he's saying, and he's watching me to see how I'll react. I thought it was so funny to witness this thing where he knows what he's doing, I know what he's doing, I'm not reacting, and he's waiting for a reaction. It was just a really interesting moment to catch. I'm at choice here. I can react to what is coming at me, or I can realize this isn't about me at all. I don't have to take it on. I don't have to accept it. I don't even have to bounce it back. I can just kind of let it go. And so we all have that choice. And yes, there are a lot of things that are happening that aren't pleasant. There are a lot of things we wish were differently, and we have a choice of how we react to it. Do you have something to say about that before we go on?
No, go ahead.
Oh, I want to just talk a little bit about what Christian D. Larson says. He says in The Pathway of Roses, when the present moment is filled with the most perfect life we can realize, the seeming incompleteness of the present moment will simply become a perpetual growing process. Incompleteness will thus become a real step in growth. It will become like a growing bud. It will not be evil, only lesser good on the way to greater good. How about that? Lesser good on the way to greater good.
Yeah.
So we don't have to call anything. It's lesser good on the way to our greater good. And then he goes on to say, when the bud ceases to grow, it decays and becomes unwholesome, disagreeable. Likewise, when buds in human life are checked in their growth, they produce disagreeable conditions. And here is the cause of all of the ills in the world. The remedy is to live all of that power so it's centered on the present moment, to give the whole of life to the present moment, to promote the growth of everything and that exists in the life of the present moment. To live a full life now is to live more and more life now. So just really what he's saying is, when we let those things stagnate and we hang on to things, we stop growing. And so and I know everybody says this, we talk about this all the time, to be right here in the now, right here in the present moment, not on what happened last week, not on what's going to happen tomorrow, not about this thing was exciting and this thing was bad, but where am I right now, right in this moment, right now? Mm-hmm. And then that is what brings us growth and expansion and brings us forward and onward. And so I think that what I'm trying to say is everything is about our thoughts. What we're thinking about what we're doing about what we're thinking. And I know that sometimes I get caught in a cycle, and I know you've heard me say this before, of doing. Because I have so many things to do. I'm doing. And it needs to be a cycle of being, doing, or doing, being, doing. But not just do, or even be. Because it's the cycle of being present, recognizing who we are, doing the thing that's ours to do, being present, recognizing who we are, doing the things we have to do. So we can recognize the incomplete parts of ourselves and then move forward and, oh, okay, I see this thing, and now I can grow beyond that. I can do it better. I can be more present while I'm here this day, and not move into that. Ernest Holmes said something, I was listening to him this morning, about having to take a minute because he got out of himself. So something happened and he got out of himself. And so now he has to take this moment to get back within and recognize, oh, this is my truth. I let that thing shake me. And now, okay, here I am. I'm okay again.
So that's just like saying that there's always something awake in you. It's you that's blocking it. So when you can get conscious, you can join that awakened self and see whatever you're going through in a different way. That in essence, there's always something within you that's awake.
Right.
Always.
And when we recognize that, I know we've all had those times when we have no idea where that idea came from, where that thing we're supposed to be and to do and to create. We have no idea where that came from. Excuse me.
Well, we have some idea.
Well, but
I know what you mean.
that was, yeah. And so, excuse me, just a minute. I've heard people say that they got an idea of this thing they were supposed to create and a thing they were supposed to make. And they thought, oh, I just don't know how I would do that. And so they kind of just let it go. And then somebody else made it.
Mm-hmm.
And so those ideas that we get sometimes aren't just ours to do. They're an idea that whose time has come. And if we don't pick it up, someone else will. So what I'm saying is when we get those ideas and they are ours to do, it's time for us to let go of the blocks of, oh, why I can't do this or why it shouldn't be. And just the steps will come. If we allow it, the steps of the thing that we're supposed to do will come. It will make its way.
The thing that gave you the idea in the first place is the same thing that will be giving you the steps to what is to become. When my wife is coughing off camera. You okay?
Yeah, I forgot to put cough drops out here this morning. So, what else was I going to say? Oh, so we get to recognize our unawakened parts. We get to recognize when that's the ego as it's speaking to us and it's giving us all these reasons why we can't be or do the things that we're doing. And that those things create us continuing to do what we've always done and not move forward. And so we get a chance to recognize, oh, that's that human part of me that wants to keep me safe and not take risks and just like not improve or grow because that's safe. So we get to step beyond that and realize, yes, we're this human part, but that's a small part of who we are. I mean, the real truth of who we are is that oneness with the one life and the one power, and that absolute power that we have, like the young girl,
Abby Watson,
who didn't know she couldn't do it. And I'm sure there are lots and lots of stories out there. I mean, I watch my grandchildren. I'm sure all of us who have children and grandchildren watch them do things that I would never have thought of doing, that they just seem to be coming into the world more aware.
Mm-hmm.
They really do.
More awake.
And I think it's probably that. I think it's probably that their parents are more aware. You know, it's like, I know my mother was a better parent than the parents she had. I think I was a better parent than the parents I had. And I think my kids are being better parents than the parents they had. And so in that way, we really are evolving and becoming more of who we came here to be.
Well, in that reading, he said that Jesus was the awakening in the West and Buddha was awakening in the East, and they're awakening that new evolution of who we are becoming. But it takes the time for all of everybody to grow. So the least of us is as important as the most of us. The least of us who are blocked from seeing truth, from seeing love, from seeing peace, that still have hurt in their heart and still need to lash out. they're as important as those of us who are working about evolving ourselves. So as a human society, it takes the time that it takes in human understanding to get to where we're going. But those two beings, and there are probably other beings that are awakened. I think Martin Luther King, to a certain extent, was awakened. Nelson Mandela, to a certain extent. Gandhi. We're living beyond where everybody else was, because they saw the bigger picture. They saw where we were going, and that's very important. I forgot to point out one thing. The cool thing about having that awakening experience with the sheriff and reading that article, which was 2012, was 8 years ago that I read that. And the thing is, Abby Watson is from Broomfield, Colorado. and 8 years ago, we had no idea that we were going to end up, well, Broomfield's one of the areas that we serve. And so it was like a picture of where we were going, picture where we were. And for me, the constant reminder by my stories that I have to work at being awake all the time. And these stories are important because when I return to them, they're the reminder of the experience that I had, and it brings me more awake than I was 2 minutes ago. Does that make sense?
A little bit.
A little bit. Well, I got it.
Because as we remember those moments that we have, they open us a little more.
Yes. Or they open us back up, because we do have tendencies to close down. Even Ernest Holmes said that he did. So we're all human. We all have those times. But when we have grand stories and we've learned our lessons, those lessons are with us eternally, and we can always return to them. And for some reason, I returned to this lesson today, and it has significance to me, and hopefully sharing it will have significance to you. But the important part is create your own stories. Be conscious enough to not get caught up in whatever you're experiencing, but to stay on the outside and be awake to what the experience is bringing for you to learn.
One last thing I have written down is, can we awaken at the point of our unconsciousness? And I know the answer is yes, but then I think that's a question each one of us can ask ourselves is, how do we recognize that moment of unconsciousness to say, oh, this is my opportunity to awaken? And so that probably is different for each one of us, what that thing is inside us that goes, oh, this is my opportunity to awaken. And so how do we do that so that we become more awake and more aware in all of the moments of our life?
We do that by constantly practicing. How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, practice, practice. And that's a practice. That's a practice to take an experience you're going through and say, I'm not a victim of this experience. I'm open to what this experience is bringing to me to grow spiritually. And sometimes it takes a little longer because it's a bigger thing. Sometimes big things can take instantly. There's no right or wrong. There's just constantly working on yourself, constantly being open to change, because you're not who you were. You are who you are now, and you're not going to be who you are now tomorrow.
Right.
You're constantly growing.
Yes. Shall we pray?
Yeah, let's pray.
So I just invite you to just relax, close your eyes, take a deep breath, let go of whatever might be going on in your present moment. As we recognize that there is one power and one presence, one life, one absolute intelligence that is everywhere present as everything and everyone. It is the planet that we're living on. It is everything on this planet, all the trees and the flowers and the oceans and the rivers and the people and the animals and the bugs and the plants. It is every one of us, everything all the time. It is the smallest grain of sand on this planet out to the largest farthest star, millions of light years away, and everything in between. Right here, right now, we are one with the one with all that is. It is my life. It is Reverend Michael's life. It is the life of each one present here today. And it is the life of everyone everywhere. And I know for each one of us that we take this opportunity to expand our awareness a little bit more. A little bit more today, a little bit more tomorrow, a little bit more the next day, to become more aware of the truth of our being, more aware of those things which come into our life to teach us who we came here to be. Understand that we are that divine presence who has chosen to be in this human place at this time. To recognize who and what we came here to do and to be. And to expand and open and awaken and become aware of that presence and power of the one mind, the one power, the one present in every breath we take, in every thought we think, in every experience that we have. And so in this awakened, powerful presence that we came here to be, in absolute gratitude, I pass this word to Reverend Michael.
And I hold for each and every one of you that if there's something happening in your life that you want prayer for, just open up to that desire right here and right now as we all surround each other and uplift each other and shine light on each other, knowing that that which has been asked is now in the process of being received. I surround Greg and Sheila as they go through this experience that they're having right where they are, knowing peace for the family, knowing that Greg's father is surrounded with love and light and is open to his journey, and sending off Greg's mother into that infinite good that she is surrounded where she is with lovers, with loved ones, and with the presence of God. Just knowing the truth for this family, holding peace, surrounding them with love and light. And for anybody else that wants their prayers to be answered, we just know that it's done, it's fulfilled. And so I give thanks for this time shared. I give thanks for the opportunity to serve in this way.
Yes.
I give thanks for each and every person that is participating. I give thanks for Greg and Sheila and Stephan and Mindy and all the other musicians that serve our ministry. Thankful for everything and everyone. And in this attitude of gratitude, I can now release, let go, and simply allow it to be. And together we say, and so it is.
Amen, Ashe, and woohoo!
Yes, sir.
And now we get some music.
Actually, Mindy's having a little technical problem, so let's go on with the conscious giving and then see if she can get back on.
And she asked me, she said she can only stay on for 5 minutes at a time right now on her computer. So when you see her down on, if we can put her in as soon as you can.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So it's our giving time.
Yeah, we invite those of you out there that are watching this to turn to your heart and see if you got something for this today, and if you enjoy us being here for you every Sunday, to just check your heart and see if there's something you can give. That we all are thankful for who you are, and we share our abundant life by giving, and as we give, we receive so much more. So give from your heart, not from obligation, but because you choose to. And Valerie's going to tell you how to.
So if you use Venmo, you can use the QR code code in the corner of the screen. Otherwise, you can go to our website, cslnorthmetro.org, and on the front page, there are several ways that you can give. And so we're just really, really grateful for that. Also, Sunday services isn't all that we do. So we have discussion groups, and we have movie nights, and we're getting ready to start a new class. And so if any of these things, that we grow in a lot more ways than just on Sundays. And so we offer a lot more things too. So if they'll speak to you, we'd love to have you join us.
Yeah, they can go to the website and see what we're doing.
They can. Okay.
So now just shine your light at this basket, seeing it being full of good and plentifulness. And repeat after me. I give thanks to the Almighty God.
I give thanks to the Almighty God
for this opportunity now to give.
For this opportunity now to give.
I open up to receiving.
I open up to receiving.
Knowing giving and receiving is one thing.
Knowing giving and receiving is one thing.
I know as I give, it blesses many people on the planet.
I know as I give, it blesses many people on the planet.
And for this, I'm eternally grateful.
And for this, I'm eternally grateful.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
we're waiting. Oh, you want to talk about afterwards?
I guess we should talk about afterwards. So we have a Zoom meeting afterwards. We like to get together and share our aha moments and see each other and talk to each other. So we absolutely invite you to join us on Zoom afterwards. And the link is in the comments. I can't see that, but you can. So do the link. If you can't see the link because you're on YouTube, it is on our website under the calendar. It shows the link is right there. You can just click it right on our webpage and it'll take you right into the Zoom meeting. So we also have, you can sign up on our email list too. You can do that from the website, and then we'll send you out all the links and all the things that we're doing. And so that might be a way to get connected with us too. And we'd absolutely love to hear from you, the things that you do like and what it serves you and what else we could do that would help serve you. We'd like to hear that too. So maybe we'll just
yeah, she hasn't been able to sign in, so she's trying, but we can move on with benediction.
Okay. You go ahead and benedict this out, and if she comes in, then we'll stay, and if she doesn't, we will see you on Zoom afterwards.
There she comes, actually.
Yay! Yay, Mindy!
You're working for this one. You're on.
I'm in this show. Okay. I'm going to assume I should just sing. All right. Nod, Michael, if you can hear me.
Yeah, we can.
Think of each other when you lend a helping hand. Put a little love in your heart. When the world could be a better place to see. Put a little love in your heart. And the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. Take a good look around, and when you're feeling down, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide kindness will be your guide, put a little love in your heart. And the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Put a little love in your heart. Let's see everything. You know the words. Here we go. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Sing with me. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart.
Yay, we made it. Thank you, Mindy.
You have one more?
Yes, I do. I have one more. It's about perspective. There's something that is said in certain circles that integrity is what we do when no one's looking. It's who we are when no one's around. And to Michael and Valerie's message today, everything's about perspective and our perception. And there's a beautiful song called The Distance. It has to do that when we get far away from things, when we're not so attached, sometimes they look really good because we're not focusing. We're not picking things apart. And so I really love this. From a distance, the world looks brown and green, and the snow-capped mountains white. From a distance, the ocean meets the stream, and the eagle takes to flight. From a distance, there is harmony, and it echoes through the land. It's the voice of hope, it's the voice of peace, it's the voice of everyone. From a distance, we all have enough, and no one is in need. There are no guns, no bombs, no disease, and no hungry mouths to feed. From a distance, we are instruments, all of us, marching to the common band, playing songs of hope, playing songs of peace. They're the songs of everyone, 'cause God is watching us, God is holding us, God is blessing us from a distance. From a distance, you look like my friend, even though we are at war. And from a distance, I cannot comprehend what all this divisiveness is for. From a distance, there is harmony, and it echoes through the land. It's the song of hope, it's the song of peace, it's the song of everyone. God is watching us, God is holding us, God is blessing us from a distance.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. What a great ending.
I'm going to go now.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We love you.
See you in a month.
I hope so.
It'll get better.
I just have to believe, right?
That's right.
That's right. Greg and Sheila, are you still there?
We're still here too.
All right. Well, know that we surround you with light and love, and we're with you as you go through this experience, and we hold you in our hearts. We love you both.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
And we're so grateful for everything you do. Thank you.
We love you so much.
Even though it's some kind of white knuckle ride.
And we're grateful for you, having you guys, both of you in our lives.
Absolutely.
So, but I watch like TV where the corporate stuff, and they have the same kinds of glitches these days too. So I always feel better when I see, they have internet connection problems and light problems and all that stuff too. So we're doing just great. And thank you so much. We love you so much.
Say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.